was researching Uniswap v4, I discovered there is a correlation between the fee and the tick spacing of a pool. So Uniswap has the latest version, Uniswap v4. You can research and read more about this in the docs, Uniswap docs. But what I'm about to teach you in this video applies to every Uniswap version. So what is the correlation between tick spacing and fee? Let's first define what tick spacing is. Tick spacing is the number of ticks that must be skipped between allowed liquidity ranges. For example, and ticks is where you can store liquidity in a liquidity pool. For example, if the tick spacing is 10, you have a tick like this, 10,000. Then the next tick where there is liquidity stored at is 10,010, then 10,020, etc. This is if tick spacing is 10. And there is a correlation between fee and the tighter and tick spacing. The tighter the fee or the tighter the spacing, the higher the fee, as you can see here. And we have some example pools. For example, in stablecoin pairs, which is USDC, USDT, this always should be pegged to 1, or they very tightly oscillate between 1. And that's why we have more ticks and we have very tight spacing. We only have a tick of 1, and that's why we have this low fee of 0.01%. So what is the expected behavior in this pool? The price of these two stablecoins should rarely move beyond a few basis points, and that's why LPs, liquidity providers, need to provide liquidity within a razor thin range like 0.999 to 1.0001 to earn the tiny fees. And a wide tick spacing like 10 would make this impossible. And the solution is a tick spacing of 1. This allows LPs to set their ranges with extreme precision, maximizing their capital efficiency for assets that are pegged, like this pair. Let's check this example, 0.3% fee. So we have some volatile pairs here, like ETH, USDC, this is a very common one. An expected behavior of this pool is that the ETH price is volatile and it can swing by percentages in a single day. And LPs need to set wider ranges to avoid their liquidity becoming inactive due to normal price movement. The higher fee compensates for this less efficient capital allocation. And this is why they have like a tick spacing of 60. It's less precise than the stablecoin pool, but that's okay because LPs for volatile assets aren't timing for single tick precision. The wider spacing significantly reduces the number of ticks a large swap must cross, saving gas during the highly volatile price moves that are common for ETH. So you can see how this makes sense. It has a bigger spacing, but when you do a large swap, the compiler can iterate through less ticks, which makes the swap less cheaper, and then we have the illiquid pairs. I think these are called long tail assets, where you have higher fee, like 1%, and very large tick spacings. Why? Because it's very volatile and often illiquid, so they're not liquid. You don't have much liquidity in these pairs. Price can make massive jumps, and the highest possible fee to compensate LPs. We need to have the highest possible fee, and there is a high risk of impermanent loss and low trading volume. And this is the solution, a trading spacing of 200. This ensures that even if a swap causes the price to move massively, it will interact with very few ticks, keeping gas costs manageable for a pool that might not even have volume to absorb these costs.